Hi everyone, it's Jeff and welcome back. We are here to do another Sibelius video. This one is all about just some very common shortcut keys that are going to make your life easier. So let's get right into it. To enter a note, simply press N. And we can play on our MIDI keyboard. Put something in. I'll do the same thing in the bass clef here. So again, just tap N. And let me put in something lower. Yeah. And then when I'm finished, I just hit N again. This is a very common one that you probably know. By pressing R after clicking a measure, I can repeat the previous bar. So all I did was click the measure and repeat. If I had a row of 4 quarter notes, and maybe I had a pattern that repeated, I could just click 2 of those quarter notes and hit the R. Now to click both of them at the same time, I just did a control click. So you can do that with anything in Sibelius, any note head. You can control click to select multiple ones. These are pretty basic. Another one I like to use is S for slur. So click a single note, hit S, and you've got yourself a slur. I can also slur the entire bar if I want. So click the bar so the whole bar is active and then hit S. And now my entire bar is slurred. Crescendos behave very similarly. So I can click just a single note and hit H for a hairpin or a crescendo. And you'll notice I have a crescendo from here to here. I could also have a crescendo in the entire bar if I wanted to, so by just clicking H. If I want a decrescendo, then I'm just going to do Shift H, and that will get me a decrescendo. Of course, I might want to know exactly what dynamic I'm starting at, so this is pretty easy. I'm going to click on my first measure and hit Control E. That's the expression text. Now here's where a lot of people make a mistake. They do Control E and then they just start typing. That really isn't the correct thing to do. The correct thing to do is to keep that Control key or Command if you're on Mac, keep that key down. Now you'll get it to look the way it should. Okay, so just remember when you're typing in your dynamics, keep that Control, or if you're on a Mac, the Command key, keep that down while you're doing that. Okay, what if we want to identify our chords? Well, we can do that with Control K. And I can put a chord symbol and hit enter. I'm sorry, hit spacebar. And then I'm in my next bar. Maybe we have a vocal part and we want to add some lyrics. So I'll put in some notes first. Okay, something simple like that. And I'll hit Control L to bring up my cursor for lyrics. And I can start typing in my lyrics. If I have a word that's split, I'm going to put the first part of the word and then hit hyphen. And then I can go on from there. Okay, just a simple example, obviously, but you know, that's basically how you would do a multi-syllabic word. Okay, the next thing we're going to do, maybe we want to create a rehearsal mark. We can simply select a bar or even a bar line where we want it to happen. So let's say I want a rehearsal mark right here at the beginning of bar 3. I can do one of two things. I can select the bar line and hit Control R, and that gives me my rehearsal mark. Or maybe I just select the bar itself and hit Control R. The result will be the same, so it's up to you how you want to do that. If you don't like the letters for Rehearsal Mark, you would head over to Text, and under Rehearsal Mark, hit this Engraving Rules button here, and then we can get it to do the bar number. I usually like to do that instead of letters. Okay, and just a reminder that we can pull up any part we want. Let's say I just want to look at the vocal part on its own. So right now I'm in my full score. Click a bar in the vocal part, hit W, and that'll get it to pop up as its own tab. If you want to do the long way, you can go over to this plus here, and then we can select our vocal part from there. But I just like to hit W. I seem to remember that shortcut. Hopefully that makes life easier for you too. One more thing about special text. We have something called technique text. So maybe I have my violin playing. Just another simple example. So I can, right now it's on an arco sound, so I can click a note, hit Control T, and if I type P-I-Z-Z period for pizzicato, then as you can hear, Note Performer, Sibelius Note Performer will recognize that. So, and then if I wanted to go back to arco, I could just use Control T for technique text and put it back to arco. Now there are also some shortcut keys that I want to show you here on the keypad. So if you are on a desktop computer, you have on the right side of your keyboard the keypad, the numpad as it's sometimes called, or you might have a laptop and you can buy an external keypad for yourself, and this really does make things easy. So for example, if I click a note, if I do a slash on the keypad, I have a sideways accent, and I can toggle that on and off. If I do an asterisk on the keypad, now I have a staccato. Again, I can toggle that on and off. Let's see, if I hit the minus sign, that'll bring it down a half step. That'll flat it. And then again, I can toggle that on and off. That's the minus sign. Plus sign, as you might guess, that'll give you a sharp or not. And then if I want to tie things together, so we already dealt with slurs. Ties are different. Let me bring this note here, and I will hit the enter on the numpad in order to tie that. This is just for an example. Of course, I would just normally write that as a half note, but just for the sake of example here. And if I want a dotted rhythm, I'll put in a note. As long as that note is blue and I hit the delete dot on your numpad, then I can get my dot. One more thing that I'd like to show you is how to make triplets really easily. So I'm going to give myself another bar here. All right. The thing about triplets is, first off, know what kind of triplet you want. So if I know I want an eighth note triplet, I can put in a note, an eighth note, and now that note is active because it's blue. I'll hit Control 3, and there I go. I have my triplet ready to go. And then I'll put the rest of them in as eighth notes. Easy. If I want a quarter note triplet, I would follow the same process, but use my first rhythm as quarter note. So I have my quarter note. I know I want a triplet starting there. That's a quarter note triplet. So I'm just going to do Control 3, and now I can put in my other notes as quarter notes. Okay. Obviously, it's just a strange example that I'm doing here, just to show you the different things. Anyway, I hope this video was useful. just a recap on the basic shortcut keys, hotkeys if you want to call them that. All of these are available on my website, which I'll put on the screen now. I did a presentation a couple of years ago, and you can download the PDF and print it out for yourself, put it on your bulletin board for easy reference. And again, I hope this was helpful. Be sure to hit the like button if it was, and thank you so much for joining me, and take care.